It's the 5th of March 2020 and I've just come across the BlueBell bus project on Plymouth Hoe. Let's go and see what's going on. Hello, what are your names?
Oh, I'm Burnie. I'm the founder of the cancer charity Dafter's Brush Cancer Patient Care, and I'm doing a 7,000 mile walk.
And how long have you been doing it?
I left Newcastle actually 2 years to the day,
Yes.
the 5th of March 2018, so it's our second anniversary of walking around Great Britain and Ireland.
And what made you decide to do this?
It was to get the word out and promote what we do in the northeast of England, and that's provide free transport for cancer patients.
Yeah.
And last year in the northeast we did 40,000 plus journeys with a fleet of 33 ambulances. We thought, well, the best thing is to do is to take it nationwide, and I thought, well, the best way to take it nationwide is to walk the nation. So I've done over 5,000 miles so far, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal.
So what made you come up with the idea?
I'm daft. Plus the fact I'm at the latter end of my life, and I just thought it'd be nice if we could do something really big. And I think, what's his name, Reverend Martin Luther King had that saying, didn't he? I have a dream.
Yeah.
And I also
Martin Luther King.
Yes, I also have a dream to create 1 million cancer patient journeys. And the response that we've had so far through Great Britain and Ireland, that will become a reality. Hopefully, starting in about 2 years' time.
I believe the ambulance service have taken an interest as well.
Yes, well, everyone has, because obviously we're doing an awful lot of work with the hospitals. And of course, the advantage that we do in Newcastle is treatment and transport are integrated.
Yes.
It's not an add-on; it's part of the treatment plan.
Yeah.
When the patient can get to hospital to suit the times of the appointments.
So how much walking do you do?
Well, I've done to Land's End I did 5,009 miles.
Yeah.
So I've still got another couple of thousand to do. But I think we left Land's End 4 days ago, and I think I've done another 100 miles since then. So
yes.
It's all happening.
So on a daily basis, when you're walking, how many miles do you do?
Around about 12 to 15 miles per day. That's the target.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do 60 to 80 miles per week.
And you have to go up to Newcastle for treatment yourself every so often?
Well, yes. Well, because I have Parkinson's disease, so I have a few issues. But
yeah.
Other than that, I'm a fit and healthy person.
Yeah.
Think positive, as they say.
So have you been an athlete in the past, or?
No. I've when it comes to sport, I'd sooner watch paint dry.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
No. But I've always been interested in the fresh air and getting it. But anybody can do what I've done.
Yeah.
Just the fact I've had the ability to take 2 years out of doing whatever I did.
It's willpower and mental strength as much as anything else. It strengthens the mind.
It's amazing what the medics are now saying the advantages of walking does. So yes, it's been an unbelievable experience. I'd recommend it to anybody.
So this bus has been your home for 2 years, more or
less? Yes, it's a 3-bedroom house on 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So yes, it's done a few miles, yes.
So when are you hoping to finish it all?
Hopefully in September of this year, with a bit of luck. Depends how the walking goes. We have an appointment in the House of Lords on the 22nd of June, so that'll be interesting.
Good Lord.
And then obviously we'll have the Great North Run.
Yes.
In Newcastle, so I'd like to be back in my hometown for the walk.
How much are you hoping to raise?
We're hoping to raise, I don't know, it's difficult to say. The main thing is to get the word out and to sow the seed with all the hospitals that I've visited.
Yeah.
And hopefully sow the seed with volunteers, because the charity is run by volunteers.
Yeah.
350. So it means that we can provide a free service without any expense.
So you're hoping will be a nationwide thing?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my wife doesn't like it, because I've said when I set off, I'd like to do the 3 ends. That's the 3 Newcastles in the British Isles.
Yeah.
But hopefully, God willing, that I'd like to do the 3 M's.
Uh-huh.
And that's Melbourne, Moscow and Montreal.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Because obviously there's a need for cancer patient transport everywhere.
Yeah. So how big a crew have you got with you?
Well, there's my wife and I.
Yeah.
And I'm my wife. And then visitors.
At least she's with you anyway.
Yes, so it means that we keep it tight. And I'm paying for all the costs, so the charity's not spending any money on me having this 2-year holiday, etc. So to say.
Yeah.
But coming back to what it's all about is, I never realised when we started how difficult it was for patients to get to and from hospital.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the most stressful and anxious time that a patient goes through. Not the chemotherapy or the radiotherapy,
Yeah.
or even the surgery. It's the worry and anxiety of how they're going to get to hospital on a.
Well, Jamie had his cancer scare last year, and he had no transport offers either.
Oh, good.
But luckily, it turned out to be neutral.
Excellent.
But we were in and out of the hospital for a month and a half trying to find out
Yeah.
what the results are going to be, but we had to make our own way to the local hospital to
And
find
that's
out.
wrong.
Yeah,
Generally speaking, NHS treatment is world class.
yeah,
How the patient gets there is an add-on. It's as equally important. In fact, when you consider that, say, if they're having radiotherapy, that could be half an hour, 3/4 an hour.
yeah.
But the patient might have to spend 4 to 5 hours getting to and from hospital. So it is the biggest part of the journey to.
Well, stress always compounds the illness as well.
Yes.
You're under enough stress as it is.
And I didn't realise when we started off how many cancer patients also lived on their own.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 killer diseases. You've got cancer and you've got loneliness.
And too much thinking time.
Yes. What it must be like for any patient to go to bed on their own, behind the front door, etc., and the worry and anxiety, worrying how they're going to get to hospital the next day.
Yeah.
It must be devastating. One of the little things that we developed shortly after starting was, even though the treatment and the transport are all planned, and the patient knows what we're going to do, the driver of the ambulance the night before rings the patient just to reassure them that we are coming to pick them up at the time that it's
Yeah.
and it just takes some of the stress and anxiety off the patient's experience.
Well, in some areas, the National Health Service gets an awful lot of knocks. I mean, Jamie's had his problems, but they've been on the ball. Whenever he's had a problem and they needed to catch up with him, they've sent him text messages on the phone, so they're in touch with him all the time. So they do good service on that side, and people that do an awful lot of good for people get too many knocks by the media
Oh, yes.
in this country, and it's not good enough at all.
Well, obviously there are some parts of the treatment that volunteers can't do. That's it.
Yeah.
But there are other parts where you couldn't pay people to work as hard and as long as volunteers do.
Yeah.
When the wheel comes off the treatment, and if the patient's time of completion is later, the volunteers don't mind hanging around and waiting for them, because that's what it's all about, getting the patient back home as soon
Yeah.
as they've come off treatment.
So, what's your website? How can people contact you?
Well, I'm not into technology. I struggle with a mobile phone. I couldn't switch a computer on.
Are you on Facebook and?
I have no idea. But if they go onto our website,
I'll go into just ask you.
bluebellbus.org.uk.
Okay. Well,
This young man
thanks
here,
for that.
Dave, will answer
So how
all
are you
those
involved
queries.
in all this?
Well, my name's David. I'm a volunteer for the charity, and
Yes.
I'll try and help Brian as much as I can. We support him with the bus, and also with a little bit of filmmaking and a little bit of publicity on social media.
Yeah.
Hashtags, things like BlueBell Bus, Cancer Patient Transport.
Yeah.
We've obviously named Brian's home BlueBell, and the website is literally www.bluebellbus.org.uk, and from there you can follow our social feeds, have a look at our YouTube channels. You can also have a look and see what the charity does, how much we've managed to raise, and full transparency is there. There's lots of information.
And how can people donate online?
They can donate online via Virgin Money Giving. There's
Right,
a
okay.
link on the website, and you don't have to have an account. You can pay a small amount, a few pennies is absolutely fantastic. All major credit cards, debit cards, etc.
Well, people tell me I've got 30,000 subscribers on one of my channels, and if each one of them gave me £1.
Well, that would be fantastic.
Well, that's
wouldn't
what
it?
you need, really, isn't it?
It is, well,
charity,
it
it'd
is.
be
But
ideal.
unfortunately, let's be honest. In life, there is no such thing as a good cause.
Yes.
There are so many charities, and people at fairly hard times in their lives. Everybody's asking to put their hand in their pocket. Can you give here? Can you give there?
Yeah.
There are thousands and thousands of fantastic
You've got to
charities.
pick and choose what's best for you,
It's
or
very
what's related to you.
difficult. That's correct.
Yeah.
And what we're finding is, especially those who have been through the cancer journey,
Yeah.
or those who have been touched by cancer in some way, it could be a neighbour, it could be a brother. We are finding that those people are actually coming to the charity wanting to volunteer their time, wanting to volunteer their sort of give their empathy and their help to all of our patients. And also, if they can spare a few pence, I mean, that's fantastic. But
Yeah.
it's mainly, the charity is actually powered by volunteers.
Yeah.
There are 3 paid members of staff in the whole charity.
That's well done.
So literally every pound the charity receives, about 98.5 pence.
But you
of
get
that
buzzed by
goes to
self-achievements and the
Absolutely.
satisfaction of doing good.
But let's face it, we all feel good by doing good things.
Exactly, yeah.
And whether it be knock on a neighbour's door to see if they're okay, whether it be try and see somebody at Christmas you haven't seen for 10 years,
Yeah.
it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So, you know, really as a nation, we're very good at this.
Yeah.
But now and again, a unique venture such as this pops up and it captures people's imagination, and we've had such great feedback. We're very proud of Brian's achievements so
Yeah.
far, obviously, but the charity we love to bits. It's a great communal charity, so we really hope to take what we do in the Northeast all over Great Britain and Ireland, and
Yeah.
that will happen hopefully very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks very much anyway.
A real pleasure. Thank you
Cheers.
for your time.
You can find the BlueBell Bus project on Daft as a Brush, bluebellbus.org.uk. Sponsor them. You can also find them on Facebook. This has been a Summertime TV International Subscribers Production 2020. You can contact me at ccsPhoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. It's a lifestyle thing. Be who you want to be. Be free. Thanks to Jamie.